pay-per-view press conference, but you guys are free to resume your antics.
I'm just editing something in Rockstar Editor here.
That's cool. I don't think you definitely can get banned from streaming the pay-per-view, but the press conference is on YouTube, and I did the AEW one, so I don't think I think I'll be all right. I don't know how they. I don't not hear any sound on this game. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping that muted. Why am I not hearing any sound? Oh, there's my sound. Hey Nathan, could you check my stream, make sure all the audio levels and videos
Sure, I'll check.
Are A-okay. And also, let me know what the title of the stream says.
Sure.
Mega faggot watches wrestling. Shit, sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot you were
waiting for you.
Sorry, Twitch. My Twitch name is Satoru Brojo. Feel free to ban me.
Yeah, ban him.
Tourette's.
Let's see, shitty boots. I don't want this crossbow.
Audio seems pretty good on all levels. Me, Joe, you.
Yeah.
The title is WWE Survivor Series Press Conference Reaction.
Okay, good.
Grim Dawn.
Yep. That's what I want.
And you're playing whatever this is. Oh, Grim Dawn. That's the game. I see.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet out that I'm alive. It says I'm out of memory. What do you mean I'm out of memory?
Got any commands yet? Let's see these commands. No data available. RIP.
What?
No, I was just seeing if you got any commands yet. You got no commands.
I need to know how to do that shit.
I mean, you got Nightbots. That's the first step. You just sign into Nightbot with your Twitch ID, and then you just like add them. Some of them, I think there's presets already baked in on the website. It's just a matter of like rearranging them. I'd probably send you a quick like 5-minute video.
Appreciate
add
that.
certain commands. Yeah.
Probably it's hard to type.
It's really simple.
Microphone. I gotta
Yeah,
figure
you don't
out
even
better.
have to do the work. You can just copy and paste most of them, especially like uptime Nightbot commands and shit like that.
I don't know. I gotta learn. I don't know how live streamers do it. Plus, I got my 3DS capture window now, so I could stream 3DS games if I want to. But that whole thing was just so I can get it on a bigger screen.
Yeah, here's a great video I always watch by Loaded Wombat. It's from like a year ago. I'll send you it. It's like a 11-minute video. You can watch it whenever, but it's really helpful. And it just gives you the basics.
You want to play some auto there, Nathan? Again?
I will in a minute. I'm just finishing up a Rockstar Editor clip.
No problem. Take your time.
Yeah, there's this really nice clip I have that just gave off like weird No Country for Old Men vibes. So I'm doing my best to direct as like a Coen brother, and I feel like the first opening shots are really good, but then there's like a middle sequence with the supermarket that I'm kind of like, feels like a different movie, and then it cuts back to more No Country, and then the end. The end is great because it's just like this static shot, and then for like one frame, a car is just about to sideline me. It's like, and it just cuts to the next clip. I like just this is probably like a few months old because this is a whole bunch of shit we did like months ago. So this is more of like leftover clips that I'm now directing. But yeah, I think that one's finished. I'm just reviewing. I got one more out of like the 5 clips I've been working on.
Oh my god, this guy could freeze me. Holy shit.
Yeah, I really like how those first 2 shots are set up. I might actually send you just like this sequence. I really like how it turned out. And I also did the clip we made the other night, which like is only 12 seconds, but it's simple, it's nice, I like it.
Nice.
But what's weird is like when I exported it onto my PlayStation gallery, it didn't have the HDRs. Like most of it, you can't even make out because it's at night, so everything just looks like black inky blobs.
Black inky blobs.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I'm gonna have to put it on YouTube to fix that issue. Yeah, like I just don't know if I can make these shots better, or if I want to do different shots. But you can't do much here. There's only so much you can do in a box. I also like trying to work on the rule of thirds there, but you know, I do like those shots. This shit's like dark and disturbing, but I mean that's what No Country for Old Men's like, dark and disturbing.
Country
Keep that in.
road.
Consider doing a PG-13 coverage version where it doesn't show a lot, but no, I'm going for it.
Take me home. Why is my shit?
That's good, that's good, I like that. Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, if I screen share for a second, would you like watch?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. It's just really funny. Because I don't want to go through all the work of exporting if I could just show you this bit.
Share screen.
Let me know when you're looking.
I'm like,
Just like the lighting of the scene. I just like how the
Carnage
lights
talks
cascade
/ commands. Well,
24/7. I really like how this tracking shot works out smooth. Nothing's really sped up because it's really hard to
that look, huh?
track. Yeah, it's really hard to track that shit without going like. Zzz. And that guy's like about to smoke.
it.
Yeah. I've recorded so many like supermarket robberies gone wrong. Just awkward staring. Trying to fill in the time.
Am I getting hit right now?
Okay, I'm just gonna fast forward. You don't need to watch this. Just me killing a person. Yeah, this is me. No, I just like that shot, and this is like subtext of like I'm about to go to prison, so I had a shot of like bars over my cars.
It's fucking funny.
That's a pretty good shot there. And then, yeah, coming up here, it's really funny. Just car fucking. Anyway, do I have the thing at the beginning? Oh no, that's the other clip. Yeah, let me show you. This is the gate clip. It's literally like 12 seconds.
No, I can't.
Preparing clip takes so long to load in. This is what we did the other night. Just scratching my boob.
Come on, what's this with this press conference? When's it gonna start?
Boom, and that's pretty much it. That's what I had in my head. I was like, I don't know. But this is what I'm talking about, where like it looks good on your end. I would hope you have the HDR, but like these first few shots, because my car is just like shrouded in dark, especially this shot, it's just a black blob. Without the HDR.
Oh fuck.
Nice.
Thank you for indulging. Just save this just in case. Go back to. Oh wait, I forgot. I did this one of your car glitching into the side.
Hold on. Go back.
I might rearrange some stuff because I don't know what it would look like at the beginning. But the first
Alright.
half, I'm just like, I want to do it normally, and the second half show you what it feels like.
You had me
so-
at the first half, not gonna lie.
Wait, is this the right clip? No, this is not the right clip.
That looks cool.
Yeah, it's all right. I started getting like a headache, so I couldn't figure out shots. So that one was me being lazy. Oh wait, it's this one. Yeah, so sometimes it's like just the shot itself, like even just like the gameplay. I'm like, oh, I can see everything, and then with shit like flying's hard because you can only do so much, and the camera can only go so far in the proximity bubble. Oh yeah, so here it is. This one again, kind of lazy. I was just, I just wanted to show coverage. I just shot this for coverage. Like all this dead air of like just going back and forth, like all these extra shots are unnecessary. It's this stuff. Oh wait, no, it's the next ramp. Like I'm not really big on that wide shot, but I didn't want to do another shot of you right here. It's crazy, right? Anyway, okay, so that's it.
Fuck off.
So you're unlocking for stuff.
Oh, that's annoying.
I know you are.
Boston, Massachusetts. This is the official Survivor Series.
Okay, we're live at the press
Welcome,
conference.
everyone. My name is Byron Saxton, and a special welcome to all of you joining us on our various social media platforms, as well as all our media present here tonight. Now, in just a few moments, we're going to hear from the winners of both the men's and women's War Games matches. And of course, following that, we will hear from the one and only Paul Triple H Levesque. Now, as far as our media here present tonight, if you do have a question for our respective superstars, we simply ask that you raise your hand, state your name, and what media outlet you're affiliated with. Now, without any further ado, please welcome our first guest representing the victorious men's War Games matches, accompanied by the wise man, Paul Heyman. He is the honorary Oos, Sami Zayn.
Is this being done in kayfabe?
I didn't mean to put you guys on the spot and make you clap, but let's be honest. I think that match deserved a round of applause, right? Wise man, thank you very much. You can do it again. I won't be upset. It's a good night. It's a good night to be alive, honestly.
Well, as we situate our media questions, our first question is actually going to come from our online portal. So, Sammy, Mr. Heyman, if you're prepared. This question is from Vicente Beltran of Fox Sports. His question is, fans have speculated for a few weeks now about dissension in the bloodline. Do you feel tonight has put an end to those rumors?
I mean, I would say so. Yeah. You know, here's the thing. I feel like when it comes to online speculation, I've heard for weeks, months and months about how any day now I'm gonna like Sammy it up, whatever that means, and the axe is bound to fall, okay? And I feel like I have been doubted by everyone, including the guy who's supposed to be my brother and my best friend, and Kevin, you know, he was saying the same thing that these online communities were saying about how, oh, any day now, and this is what's going to happen, and they're just using him and this and that. And I really sincerely hope, and I'm trying to keep things light because I do feel good, but I sincerely do hope that this is the end of that speculation, and people finally see that not only have I fully accepted the bloodline, but that they too fully have accepted me.
Here, first
Attaboy,
media
Sammy.
question. Yes, sir.
Justin Barrasso, Sports
shut up.
Illustrated. Congratulations on a great night. You've known for a long time, maybe since what, you've been here since 2013, you're a main event talent. What does it mean to actually seize the moment? I mean, tonight was yours. You were on top of the cage. If you could kind of walk us through that feeling. And for Paul, you've seen everything there is to see in pro wrestling. What about Sammy stands out to you?
I mean, yeah, I have been doing it a long time. I've been here a long time. You know, I don't want to say I've never doubted myself, but I'm quite self-aware. So I'm aware of my shortcomings, and I'm aware of my talents, and I'm aware of what I'm capable of. And I think this is a position that I knew I could fill for a very long time. And of course, it feels extremely gratifying to be in not only the main event. Here's a fun fact. First show I ever watched in my life, Survivor Series 97 in Montreal. And that's 25 years ago. And now I am the main event of Survivor Series with the biggest star, with the hottest act in the world. So yeah, it feels pretty good. And to be, you know, you add all these other elements to it, all the speculation and everything that's gone into it into this time, and the level of investment, not only from the company to be in this position, but the level of investment from the audience. They were on the edge of their seats waiting to see what was going to happen. Like you said earlier, online audience is constantly speculating about what twist, what turn, what's going to happen. And all of that plays into it, and it just makes this feeling 10 times more gratifying. You couldn't turn your phone off. I'm here feeling, anyways. to get into all that.
Thanks for ruining Sammy's
Right.
night.
I don't think anything could ruin my night, let alone a little ringtone from the corner.
Mr. Barrasso, your question was about Sammy? The dichotomy that he has with every member of the bloodline. How many times have you seen the bloodline all absolutely cannot contain a laugh in the ring when we're in front of a sold-out arena with worldwide live television cameras on us? Sammy brings a dynamic that none of us were
Who's
prepared
the sales guy?
for, and we're prepared for everything. And what Sammy also brings is a connection with the audience that none of us can have because we've been too busy being the top act in the entire industry for over 2 years. And Sammy, to me, from my perspective, and from the Tribal Chief's perspective, represents the member of the audience who gets his one chance to step into the ring and live out his dream, and does it so well every week that we say, do you mind coming back next Friday? We'd love to have you as part of the act. And that's who Sammy has become. He's the guy that was going to get a guest spot on a TV series, and he ends up being part of the cast because he's just so damn passionate and so good at what he does.
That was nice.
Back row, sir.
Thank you, Paul.
Ray Matthews with Bleacher Report. Obviously, the final few moments of that matchup parallel to Battleground 2016 when you faced Kevin Owens and beat him on that night. Can you compare the feeling of euphoria you felt that night in beating Kevin Owens and kind of getting that sense of redemption over him tonight 6 years later?
I'd say apples and oranges. You know, all kidding aside, tonight was actually very emotional for me. And it's weird how very real emotions come to the front, even in a performance. Because the relationship between Kevin and I, for as much as we sometimes, I don't want to say beat it into the ground, but certainly the audience is well aware of our long-standing history together. I mean, that's not just a story we tell on television. It's real. That's real. You know, 20 years doing this stuff together. You can't talk about my career without mentioning his name. You can't. You can't talk about his career without mentioning my name. So when we're doing what we're doing out there, it's not just really good acting. It's just real stuff just coming to the fore, and it was very emotional for me for a number of reasons tonight. But it hit different tonight than it did for Battleground. That's for sure. And I think again, if you add so many elements of it, you know, tonight's the main event. It's with Roman. It's with Tribal Chief. It's with the Bloodline. It's the main event of a show that's sold out within minutes. And people are just so invested and excited, and that all that contributes to the cocktail of adrenaline and emotion and everything else, and that you know, that spilled out there, and I don't know how much of it the cameras caught, but a lot came out there, and I can't compare it to Battleground 2016. I can't, even though, you know, some of the longtime viewers will see the parallels, and we're always trying to weave things like that in.
Didn't watch it in
Because at the
2016.
end of the day, we are long-term storytellers. But sometimes, you know, the story kind of just tells itself. And I felt like that's kind of what happened out there tonight.
Our final question will come to the front row right here.
Matt Camp from WWE's The Bump.
I know you.
Thank you, Sammy. Mr. Heyman, based on what you said, and then Sammy.
Oh my
with
God, they have
where
a-
you
they have an
started
inside
with the
guy.
bloodline And with the conversation you had with Roman tonight, and then your actions in the match, do you feel like you become the most important member of the bloodline, not named Roman Reigns?
I don't look at it in terms of a ranking system. And I think people are, I actually kind of resent it, to be honest. I'm not saying I resent you or the question. I'm just saying, like, I kind of reject the notion of this outside of Roman, who's the Tribal Chief, head of the table. I mean, that's extremely hierarchical. But I don't particularly care for the rank system. And like, oh, he's a step below him and he's more important than him. It's not. It's a unit, it's an act, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And everybody is so important in their role to the totality of it.
Who gets paid more?
Like, it, you know, like what he was saying about the dynamic with how it's been with Jay and I, or Jimmy and I, and Solo and I. And we haven't done a ton, but Paul and I. and Roman and I, and those are all individual stories. So I don't think one is more important than the other, outside obviously of Roman for obvious reasons. But I don't like even looking at it through that lens of a ranking order or whatever. It's all part of something that really comes together beautifully when you put it all together. It's part of a totality, is how I see it.
It also depends on the need of the moment.
Right.
You know, if the tribal chief in defending the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship needs special counsel, then the wise man is the most important contributor to the island of relevancy. If the tribal chief needs backup, then the most important contributor is Solo, because I sure as hell can't help him physically. If the tribal chief needs to see the tag team division dominated, because otherwise we're just dominating one division instead of the entire industry, then the Usos step up, and they are the most important. And then tonight what you saw was Sami Zayn make a statement of loyalty to the bloodline. And I disagree, sir, with your assessment. With all due respect, I don't find it what Sami did to have anything to do with 2016, because that was a story of disloyalty. And I don't think what Sami Zayn did tonight was disloyal to Kevin Owens. It's the same thing in UFC. If two people from the same camp end up going for the heavyweight championship or the middleweight championship, then they're going to fight. And afterwards, and they're going to say, hey, we're on opposite sides of the cage, and we both got paid to fight each other. Sami Zayn was on the opposite side of Kevin Owens tonight. Kevin Owens was on a team. He chose to be on that team. If anybody was disloyal to anybody, Kevin Owens was disloyal to Sami Zayn. He put Sami Zayn in a terrible position of having to pick his best friend or the bloodline. The greatest faction in the history of the industry and the top star in the industry, Roman Reigns, and the acceptance of Roman Reigns, which makes all of us relevant. And Sami
crammed at that doorway
was not
there.
disloyal to Kevin Owens. He took on his opponent, but he showed his loyalty to the bloodline. And that is why tonight, Sami was the most important cog in the wheel, the most important faction in the equation. But if tomorrow Reigns needs physical backup, the elders have sent Solo. If he needs my counsel, if he needs the tag team, it all depends on the need of the moment. We serve at the pleasure of the tribal chief.
Well, that concludes the questioning for you, Mr. Heyman, and you, Mr. Zayn. Once again, congratulations.
Jesus
on
Christ.
Out, Sammy. They've had enough of us.
That's okay.
Respectfully.
An after party here. All right. Thank you.
Well, next up, we welcome representing the victorious team on the women's side of things as it pertains to War Games. Please welcome first the Raw Women's Champion, the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair.
Oh. I don't know if this music is. Is it just her?
Bianca, a woman who made her return to WWE this past Friday night on SmackDown. Please welcome the man,
These spiders.
So much like we did a few moments ago, we're going to start off with an online submission, and then we'll see who has questions here with our media present tonight. First question is for Becky. This is from Bill Abner at Sportskeeda. He says, how did you feel about your overall ring performance after your time away from the squared circle?
Well, my ass hurts, but other than that, I feel great. I won. That's always nice. I really like winning. Look, my thing is always that I want to come back better than ever. And I feel like when I came back from having a child, I came back better than ever. And so tonight was no different. And I feel like we tore the house down.
Our first question, yes, sir.
What's going on? Oh. I'm Steve Fall from 10 Count. I have a question for Becky. So you returned Friday night, but were you supposed to return earlier? or later, or did Bianca call you and say, "Hey, we need your help"?
I had a trip planned to Ireland. It was my brother's 40th birthday, and so she called me. She was like, "Hey, Becky, we need a fifth member. We're finding it hard." I was like, "Bianca, I'm in Ireland. I got this thing to do." She was like, "Look, is there any way you can get home? I'll send a jet." I said, all right, send the jet, I'll be there.
A
So
likely story.
She's become a good friend. We started off as bitter enemies, obviously. I came in and used nefarious means to beat her, but I've gained so much respect for this woman sitting beside me. She is everything that she says she is. She is the EST of WWE, and I'd be happy to fight by her side anytime she needs me.
Our next question is for you, Bianca. This comes from Mike Johnson at PW Insider.
Mike
Bianca,
Johnson.
We all know WrestleMania will be hitting very soon. In a perfect world, who would you like to petition to face at WrestleMania?
A perfect world. I've been getting that question a lot lately. And I'm such an indecisive person. I mean, for one, our women's roster is so amazing. I mean, we have so many talented women where whoever I get in the ring with, we are going to be the main event of the night, no matter where we are at. But in a perfect world, can I pick two? I have two choices. I think that the one that everybody's been hearing, of course, is Rhea Ripley. You know, I think that, you know, we crossed paths a couple weeks ago at Raw, and we've had a long history starting back in NXT all the way to the Royal Rumble. We both won our first titles at WrestleMania 37. We're both doing equally amazing
Don't say the
things, and
number,
our
makes it
careers
look
parallel
old.
right now. So it'd be really great to meet each other at the mountaintop. And my second choice would be Charlotte Flair. You know, I've always said one of my goals is to eventually defeat all four horsewomen. These women have done amazing things. I have to say, amazing things. Laid the foundation. You ain't got to go nowhere, but you know, just make some room.
Nowhere.
But I have one more. One more, and that's Charlotte Flair. So, in the perfect world, it would be Rhea Ripley or Charlotte Flair. And no, you are not going anywhere anytime soon. No.
Next question, yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Krista B, one half of those wrestling girls. Hey, girl. So my question is, you ladies have been making history since the start of your career. Is there something else that you feel like you want to conquer while we're on the road to WrestleMania?
Be the first woman to win the Royal Rumble twice.
Ooh. I think for me, I would love
Need a one-handed special.
main event WrestleMania on the second night. I've done it on the first night. I want to main event WrestleMania on the second night.
All right, lofty goals there. We have one final question, gentleman in the back.
Thank you, Justin Barraza, Sports Illustrated. Becky, there was no hesitation.
Little video
when
there.
you got to the top of that cage, and you've been away since, what, the end of July. Can you touch on again?
Sure.
Again, you're putting your body on the line. It's just amazing that there, again, was no hesitation. It seemed like you knew exactly what you wanted to do, exactly how you wanted to do it.
Start a session, I'll just
what you do isn't
join you.
easy. If you wouldn't mind that sequence at the end of the match.
Enter the main menu right now.
Lads, I was terrified. Well, no, I wasn't terrified in the moment. I was terrified getting up there in practice today. I climbed up. I wanted to see the height of it, and my palms were sweaty. Knees weak, arms spaghetti, and bars. There was no vomit on my sweater already, but when you have the feeling of the crowd and the energy of the crowd, I feel like anything is possible. It's the people that let you feel like you're a superhero and make you feel like you're a superhero, and so then you become a superhero. And God bless Dakota Kai and Io Sky. I'm sure they're feeling a lot worse than I am.
Ladies, once again, congratulations on your victory tonight. I guess we'll all heavily anticipate what the future holds for you.
It was a good call putting in that on the other side of the table.
Goddamn music. I'm not playing until the person walks in. I'm not fucking getting copy strike. Ooh, this weapon fucks. It's all about the game. Is it playing? Okay.
How are you? Everybody good? Good. Good. First of all, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I know holiday week that goes by really quickly.
Where's my pet?
And hopefully this was a great cap off to a great Thanksgiving weekend and staying with a sort of Survivor Series tradition that has been going on for years. And I'm glad we could continue that process. I want to thank everybody here. Since we're talking about thanks and Thanksgiving, let's talk about it. I want to thank everybody here. I also
You're welcome,
I
Daddy.
want to thank the fans, the WWE universe, all around the world. We have the greatest fan base, I believe, of any sport.
Okay, I'm in a new, fresh, clean, empty lobby, Aaron.
The most passionate fan base, tuning in from around the world. Anything we do, anything we put out there, they come to see. For
All right, I'll be there in a moment.
A lot of them, it's almost a lifestyle, and so I just want to say thank you to them because they make all of this possible. Everybody that tuned in around the world makes all of this possible. So while we're talking about Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for all of you. Also wanted to thank the people here at TD Garden today. I used to come to this building, the old version of it, when it was Boston Garden. When I was a kid, grew up here watching it. One of the coolest moments of my career when I very first started in WWE. I wasn't allowed to work in the company yet. I was still under a court deal to prevent me from working. But the WWE was having a Legends Night, and it was going to be the last night in the old Boston Garden here. And I called J.J. Dillon at the time, who was running talent relations for WWE, and I was like, is there any way I can work on that show? I don't care. I will fly myself up. I will pay for an opponent. I will, whatever it takes. I just want to wrestle in that building, before it's gone. And they said, absolutely. And I flew myself up and came up here and got to wrestle, and every legend was here, including Kowalski, who trained me. So it was an incredible night. So I have very fond memories of this space, this area. Just driving in today, man, it brought me back to being a kid and being in this environment. So it was very cool. So I just want to thank TD Garden for this, and I really appreciate our partnership with Eric Stauffer here as part of the TD Garden staff that just makes all of this possible for us. So I just want to thank him and his team for this tonight. We had a complete sellout tonight. Over 15,600 fans here in attendance. We kept opening up more and more of this arena until we just had no place else to put people, and everything that we opened up just kept selling. It's the largest gate that we've ever done here in Boston. It is the highest grossing Survivor Series of all time. So an incredible night, and it was also the most viewed Survivor Series of all time. So an incredibly successful night. And, as always, Boston here provided us with an unbelievable crowd. So my hat's off to them as well. And of course, I can't say enough about our talent here tonight. War Games matches are challenging. They're challenging physically. They're challenging mentally to put together.
It hurts.
To make storyline threads like what you saw with the Bloodline tonight and Sami Zayn pay off from beginning to end throughout this whole show. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do, and they rose to that occasion. They embraced this new challenge of not only Survivor Series, which has been, just a staple of WWE almost since the very beginning, but to add a factor to that of War Games and to embrace that in a different way and take that on and run at it, head first. And, it's funny. I heard Becky out here talking about the scenario, and when you come back off a serious injury like that, it really messes with your mind, right? Can I do this? Am I going to be the same? Is it going to, in Becky's case, is my arm going to pop out of the socket the second I do something, right? You have to have a lot of trust
in your surgeons and your rehab process and everything that you've been through, but it's nervous and you're there and it's tough. When the words war games were first mentioned to Becky as a conversation around your return, what would your return be? How would you step into the ring for the first time? What about war games? There was a moment there where I think she was like, really? And put some thought into that, and a few minutes later into the phone call was like, in typical Becky fashion, was like, screw it, let's go. Let's do this. To go from that level of nerves to screw it, let's go, to the next morning I get a phone call that says, Becky's thinking about jumping off top of a cage and leg drop through a table. What do you think of that? And I'm like, she didn't really take her time in getting comfortable with war games. You know, it's the level of commitment that comes from our talent for things like that. It's tough for people that aren't doing this, that don't have that level of physicality, that don't do this on a daily basis to understand. But my hat's off to them. My hat's off to Becky for stepping into this in that manner, coming off that injury, and to everybody that was out there tonight, because this is not an easy thing to do, and they knocked it out of the park. I thought the women had an incredible War Games match to open the show, and you know, a lot of times I hear people talk about the main event in a show, and there's important places within the show. To me, opening the show is just as important as closing the show. I wouldn't put more importance on one than the other. You have to open big, you have to close big. And we did that tonight. The women just knocked it out of the park. Couldn't be happier for them. They really delivered, and of course the men did on the end as well with an amazing storyline. So, you know, and what you saw take place in between.
This is the only non-kayfabe part of this.
So much happens in those War
Anytime the
Games
word
matches to be
storyline
able
comes up.
to rise to that level, to keep that excitement and that level of energy going, whether that's Finn and AJ, who I thought had a phenomenal match tonight.
I skipped most of that one.
Shotzi, who I thought did as well in a very tough spot, or whether that's the triple threat, which was just off the charts. And I want to, you know, make mention of new U.S. champion Austin Theory. You know, unfortunately for him, his career was dead 2 weeks ago, and now it's resurrected. So that's a pretty good feat for him. He's going to walk on water next. I think it'll be good. Today meant a lot.
Sass.
I think for all of us, you know, in a transition time, in a new transition time, where you're trying to blaze a new trail, but at the same point in time, remember everything historically that came in front of you, and pay homage to that, to honor that, to pay respect to that, every bit of respect that it's due. I grew up watching Survivor Series. I grew up watching War Games. Putting them together tonight and having that deliver in such a big way meant a lot to me. I think it meant a lot to our talent. I think it meant a lot to them as, you know, as talent that as kids grew up, just like me, watching Survivor Series, watching War Games, watching all the greats that ever did this before us step into those time-honored traditional pay-per-views and do what they do better than anybody else. And I know there was a lot of pressure on each and every one of those talent to deliver a product that honored that past, but yet moved us into the future. So I think they did that, and I got to tell you, I'm incredibly proud of each and every one of them. No matter what we ask them, they rise to the occasion and they over-deliver. So with that, I'm going to open it up to questions.
Paul, our first question comes from Scott
Paul.
Fishman at TV Insider. His question is, will War Games become a permanent fixture at Survivor Series moving forward?
I think we'll see. I think as I just
Yes.
mentioned, I think it worked out incredibly well tonight. I think it was very exciting, but we'll see how that goes. You know, sort of in the process of looking at the overall year-to-year calendar and seeing where things go, or where they end up. But I believe tonight was very successful, so it makes me feel positive about it. But we'll see where the future takes us.
Right here in the front row.
Liam Crowley with comicbook.com. Paul, congrats on the success of the pay-per-view tonight. Kind of following up on that question, we've seen reports that Hell in a Cell as a pay-per-view might be kind of scrapped, and we're going to move that
Thank
match type to
God.
premium live events throughout the calendar year. Do you see War Games as potentially having that same impact as maybe a traveling match type that's not necessarily
That
glued
was a
to
morbid
Survivor Series,
description. I'm in the
but pops up
casino.
across
It's
the
just like,
calendar?
life has no meaning except for consumption, which makes you feel better.
For example, Hell in the Cell stepping away for me.
I mean, you're not wrong, Rockstar, but fuck, you don't need to slap me in the face with it.
Hell in the Cell is one of those things that is a giant blow-off.
Consume.
If you're calling somebody out at the end of something,
My
you
wheel
can
is
challenge
available,
them
so.
to Hell in the Cell.
Yours should be
already did
too,
mine.
because we did.
Speculation
I got
of
30
fans
grand.
about-
30 grand?
and all
Nice.
of you as well,
I just got
about,
20k tokens.
Hell in the Cell, Money
Nice.
in the Bank, Elimination Chamber. Maybe those
I'll
things
take it.
should all go away.
I'm up to
Some of
33k
that I hear.
tokens.
Hell in the Cell, I hear it, right?
Oh,
You know, I had a highlight of my career in sort of Foley and I calling each other out on Hell in the Cell. But then when you get into, no one's ever going to challenge somebody going like, that's it, I'm tired of you. I challenge you to an elimination chamber with five other guys. Like, it doesn't work, right? Same thing, like,
well, neither does War
I challenge
Games.
you to Money in the Bank.
There's
Right,
no
like,
stipulation for War Games.
I feel like there's a difference there. I think we have to reevaluate all of that. I think we have to look at that. It's really looking at the overall calendar and saying, what is the best place to put this? What is the best way to entertain our fans, or what makes the most sense, one after the other? It's no different than when you look at a show and
You're
you
not
say,
at the gym, buddy.
okay,
You're not at the
this
gym.
match has to deliver.
You're not at the gym.
Yeah, but it can't take away from the rest of the show because it's the whole show. But then it's the whole arcing story of what we're doing right now.
Well,
And
War
it's the
Games
whole
isn't.
year of what we put out all together.
Just
And there's
have the
so
match.
many
Don't make it
layers
part of the
what we
pay-per-view.
do that you got to keep in mind all of those, and we look at them going forward. So it's up in the air, but I think it's something that we think about on a regular basis.
Oh, wait, that's not my personal vehicle.
Our next
Why does it
question
look
comes
like
from
this
Ryan
one?
Glasgow from the New York Post. He asks, how did you go about getting Ozzy Osbourne for the introduction montage, and when did that come together?
I called him.
Oh, you're on a bike.
They have
Yeah, I'm on a bike.
connections.
We called Ozzy.
I'm gonna change it up.
I couldn't
Can I do
understand
a
what he said,
wheelie
so
on
we
a
talked to
bike?
Sharon.
I'm about to find out.
No, you know, Ozzy, as you know, guys know, you Hall of Famer.
Nah, it doesn't look like it.
But when you start going, lift back.
Just, you know, means so much, and War Pigs is such
I
a
don't think I
classic
can do it
song
with
that
this one.
just fits with War Games incredibly well. He's always up for doing stuff with us whenever we call him. He had an album out. It was
Spamming
great to
X
promote
is
his
like
album.
hurting
It
my
was great
thumb,
for
so I'm gonna
us.
switch out for a real
At
vehicle.
one point in time, we were talking about him performing here today. Just timing wasn't right, and the moment wasn't right.
Boom, hit backer.
I think we love Ozzy. We love Sharon. We love
hit by you
them
instead.
over the years. We look forward to doing more together. And it was a blast to see him in the open of the show tonight. And what's cooler than having Ozzy say "Welcome to War Games" with the Prince of Darkness laugh after it? You know, I mean, it just fits.
Gone, right out of control.
Alfonso Castillo with Newsday and
Shut up,
Pro
Aaron.
Wrestling Illustrated.
Okay.
On the topic of match
What if
types,
he still
you go
react
back
like
to
I'm
those
driving
original
like a full
Survivor
motor
Series, they were all
vehicle? It's like,
about
bro, it's just a bike.
the elimination tag team matches. WWE's kind of been in and out with these over the years. We've seen kind of resurgence in the last few years. Didn't see any tonight. Are we done
Nice
with
art
traditional
there.
elimination
Smell the
Survivor
part.
Series tag team matches? And what are some of the challenges in keeping that concept alive?
That's a funny ass sign. Smell the part.
I think that
All you're doing is just grabbing his junk or pointing at
together
his
as a
junk.
whole, it's about what's best for our fans in the moment. So sometimes stuff needs a break for a while. Sometimes you bring it back later, and it's, you know, it's iconic, and it's, oh my God, they're going back to that, right? So to say it'll never happen again, I think is wrong. I think it was the right year. We all looked at it and decided internally that it was the right year for us to maybe freshen up the concept a little bit. That the 5-on-5 tags, and maybe
Oh
even
my
just
God, the sound of
Raw
that.
versus SmackDown was a bit
I
tired.
just nicked the
Maybe needed a
guy. He
refresh.
fucking flew in all layers.
So that's what we did. We tried out. We'll see where
As
it
she
goes. We'll
flies
see if
off my
fans enjoy it at the end of the day. try
That
to
was
give everybody
fantastic.
the best entertainment we can. So we try things on. If they like it, we stick with it. If it needs to,
Let's see how you do it again. This guy.
you're constantly evaluating
No, hold on.
everything you do. You have to.
God damn it.
Otherwise, you
Get
stagnate.
stars, my dude.
There's this guy.
Next question, back right-hand corner.
James Stewart, 98.5 The Sports Up here in Boston.
Not worried.
Congratulations on such a wonderful show tonight, Paul.
Best parents is currently
to
active
your
and
creative
select the
process,
JTL
and how long
line.
in advance do you storyboard ideas for, say, Roman Reigns,
I got
or
one
for somebody
star.
in NXT like Carmelo Hayes, or for somebody who's injured like a Cody Rhodes?
Not
or
anymore.
Tommaso Ciampa?
So thank you. It's a good question.
Where the fuck is
Creepy
Ciampa?
Uncle
The
Lester.
process is different, and it's constantly evolving because you just really can't. About the time you say, all right, this is what we're doing, it's written in stone, that is what we are doing, somebody gets injured and the whole thing changes, right? So, and when one piece changes, creative is like
Let's
dominoes.
see. Let's go to
When you
cool
have
stuff. I want to see what
you know, however many people that
cool
you
top
have
I
in your
can
roster, when
look
one
nice
piece
with
moves,
my
when you take one out, it changes the
outfit,
dynamic
too.
of the whole deck.
I like this. That's like
Or
my
the
favorite.
whole stack, you know,
Toop.
you
But
have
let's
to be
see if I can
constantly moving
find
with
some
it. So you're
substitute
setting
takes.
yourself
How
up
much
with long
too?
term. You're setting yourself up with medium
Let's see. Oh, let's see
term,
what the
you're
new
setting
cards are
yourself up with
today
short
first.
term, knowing
If I
that
like
any
one,
of
I'm
it can
done.
change on a week-to-week basis. Given injuries, given you know, you put something out there that you
Same
think
as
is going
before.
to get
Damn
this
it.
kind of
I
reaction,
don't
and it
think they
gets this kind
cycle
of reaction,
daily.
you
I
go,
think
"Oh
it's
my
like a
God, we're
week
onto
thing.
something different here. We're gonna head in that direction."
There you
You
are,
want
star.
people to, you want talent and everybody to have an idea of where things are I use this expression a lot. Creatives like
I'm
putting,
here
you know,
if you need me.
stuff in a GPS in a way, right? Like you just got to put a destination in there. And they'll give you a bunch of routes to get there. Somewhere
I
along
like
the way,
this
you decide,
outfit,
you know what, I'm gonna go right
but
here
it's
instead
like
of left.
this.
Just
The
feels
top just
better,
has that
and
fucking
then it
Yeti on the
reroutes
back
you, and
that
you figure out a way
totally
to try to
throws
still
off the
get to your
red
same
look.
destination. You might decide along the way you want to change that destination, but you know,
It
you
sucks that
can
they don't
and
have.
and you do.
Oh
But
no!
it
Fuck! I
helps
just
to guide you.
no.
So you have to know where you're going.
I didn't mean
You
to
can't
click
be so
that.
married to
Fuck's
it that
sake.
you can't be nimble and move at a second's notice.
Yeah.
And our final question, yes sir, in the back.
He knows how to time shit really well.
Tonight. It was 5 months ago, almost exactly. One of the first
Knows
shows
how to
under the
take a
Triple H
time
regime
full
was
shit,
here in
am I
Boston,
right?
So kind of going full circle. But with that being said, there were always rumors that 20 years ago you wanted
Any
War
red
Games here at
bombers,
Survivor
huh?
Series.
Ooh,
Kind of going
yeah.
off that, can you confirm
Yeah.
those rumors that we almost got the match 20 years ago here at the show? And not only that, but where, at what point did you want War
So
Games
how are you
brought to
streaming the
Survivor Series? Or
game
what first
and
order
the
of business
conference at the
did you
same
get Survivor
time?
Series War Games confirmed?
Because he's good like that.
Well, one, thanks for the question. Two, it's funny that most rumors
Yeah,
remember
'cause I see
things
his
way
little
better
like
than my
bubble
memory
in the
of
top
anything.
right beside the map. I just
I
don't know
can
how
tell
it
you
does
right
it.
now, like I always was a fan of the War Games concept. It's come up many times.
Jesus
over the years
Christ.
as a potential suggestion. For different reasons, we didn't go there. Obviously, even when we were running in NXT.
That's
The
a bright
concept
red
of War
shirt.
Games came in, and it was something that we could do that was different and could own it. I've always liked the concept. I've always thought there was merit to it, and that especially in this day and age, it could be you could do a lot with it. It's morphed, it's shifted over the years to fit in what works today, as opposed to what worked 30 years ago or more. Heyman and I were just looking at a fight card today from like the Dangerous Alliance versus Sting Squadron, and it was
I
30
could see
years
you
ago, which is hard to
wearing
believe, But
It
you have
doesn't
to
fit
evolve
you.
things
Don't
with the
buy this.
time.
It
I've
doesn't.
always been a fan
Fuck
of it.
no.
Did I pitch it to be? I don't know. You guys know better than me. I don't know. I can't keep track of any of that stuff. Hope that answers your question. And I know Byron said that was the last question, but I feel like this young lady's been
Come on.
sitting here with her hand up, and you've just skipped over for all these dudes. Can we just?
All right, we'll call an audible here.
I'm not
Front row.
idling. Fuck off.
What did you do to get to?
Congratulations on the event.
I'll tell you after
Recently
this.
have
I'll
seen
tell you after the stream.
international events have a lot of
Okay.
success.
Yeah.
So we saw Clash at the Castle, Crown Jewel.
She
So
won't
are you
find
thinking
answer
about
is
going
illegal.
anywhere else international,
No, it's not
maybe
illegal.
Find
Latin
this
America?
anywhere.
When you
But it's
try
like
to
I'd have to
Take
go
us
through it.
long.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, look, I spent, almost 30 years of my life
Fuck
doing
the
this,
vest.
going all
Fuck
over the
the
world.
vest.
So I don't know that there's a country
I
out
think
there
it's
that I haven't
changing
been
my
to.
hair color
People that I
in
haven't seen.
GTA
The
again.
cultures, the
Same maybe like
locations.
purple or
If you were to
green.
say to me, what's my favorite international location?
I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because since it's
because they all bring
Canada
so much to the
outfit,
table,
like
and
my
they're so
fucking,
exciting. So
that's what I'm going with here.
to say, where do we want to go
Red
next?
and white.
Everywhere.
With the Hulk mask.
Canadian slasher. Canadian
Classic
psychopath.
Castle is amazing. I think it sets a standard for what we can do.
What to call it?
On a global basis, on a stadium basis. So let's go. You know, you mentioned Latin America.
If I can't find your side, I'll find it.
Everywhere, internationally.
If you can't find your size, it's because you're too fat. We don't
Go fuck
have
yourself.
sizes for fatties. We don't sell to fatsos. Leave the store.
Lose the weight to come back. Thank you.
Big stadiums, big arenas.
You're mean.
It's what we do
Fuck
better
you.
than anybody else on the planet. So,
Just
if
rock
you've
no
got a
fucking shirt underneath that jacket.
city that's out there that wants WWE to come, if you've got a
There's
country
Toby gonna
out there
cry
that wants
about.
to come, you got a continent out there you want us to come to. Yeah,
Go
tell
ahead,
us.
cry. No one's gonna hear you.
Stay tuned.
Maybe wipe the tears with your empty dollars. Because you're
We want to go to all of them,
too.
and we look forward to sitting down with the governments
Just
there. We
wiping
look
the
forward
tears
Oh,
to
you're
away with
crying?
local
Fuck you.
organizations there
Leave.
and making it be the best deal. For
We have a
fans,
no-tier
for WWE,
policy.
But also for that community coming in
If
there.
you
No shirt, no
cry,
shoes, no tears, no
doing stuff
service.
within the community, doing stuff
or
that
it's like
benefits them
fucking,
financially when
if you
combine all
cry,
those international events,
you must
and the
leave and you have no
millions,
discount.
tens,
But if you don't cry, if you stop
millions of
right
dollars
now,
that we bring into the economy there,
we'll increase the price. That makes no sense.
on all sides.
Oh, you're
If you
crying.
damage the goods with your salty
phone is
tears, you have to
ready.
pay for
Let's
it.
go.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't fit you.
Mr. Levesque, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on a
doesn't fit
successful
you.
night of Survivor Series.
Cardigan, I like
War
cardigan.
You stain it, you take it.
Thank you.
That's the rules.
Stay to take it, bitch.
And that will
And-
conclude
Stay
our
to take it.
Survivor Series.
And that's a wrap, folks. Overall
That was
thoughts.
a quick stream.
It's like half kayfabe, half not. There's Triple H is always a pro. I mean, I like the non-kayfabe press scrums better than the kayfabe ones, just because it's like, all right, keep it in the ring, bro. But you know, overall, not so bad. No drama. But I need some drama. Need some entertaining. A lot of the times, the more entertaining stuff is outside the ring. Anyway, thank you guys for joining the stream. Take care. Good night.